This morning, we are catching up with a Tony and Grammy winner who always lights up the stage and screen.
Judith Light. He meant Emmy. Yeah,
Yes.
he meant Emmy, not Grammy. Unless Judith did win a Grammy.
Listen, I'll take a Grammy.
Judith
There's
Light,
still time.
She made sitcom history, of course, for her work in Who's the Boss, before going on to star in hit shows like Ugly Betty, Transparent.
Well, her latest project is the psychological mystery series Before. Judith plays Lynn, the recently deceased wife of Eli, played by Billy Crystal. But to Eli, she does not seem to be resting peacefully. Take a look.
Here I am, like a magical unicorn.
Would you just stop?
Dad? Stop what? Who are you talking to?
I mean, that's just eerie. Yeah.
It's really, it's an interesting dynamic because, you know, people say, how do you play somebody who's not in body? But for me, she's in body and she's calling forward what she feels Eli needs from her at the moment. And so she has to appear to him. So all of what I do is always connected to Billy, who is the greatest. Billy is. I don't know how much of this you've seen, but he is.
It's a different side of it.
He's stunning. Stunning. Yes.
Well, I think it's
very much so.
It's such an interesting concept because, you know, we talk so much about like the afterlife and if there's an afterlife, but this kind of is. Well, what if there's an afterlife? What if there was a before life?
That's the point, and that's the point of the whole show. It's a psychological thriller, and what we're hoping for, and what we hope the audience will take away from this is the kind of dialogues that people really need to be having about something in our culture that other cultures talk about all the time, but we as a culture, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about, is this all we are? Is this all there is? Well,
Why do you think that is? Why don't you think we talk about it as much?
That's a really good question. I don't know if people are afraid of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if people think it's too woo-woo or too out there or too strange. I mean, there's a lot of people that I know that talk about between life regressions and afterlife, and there are lots of books that are written about it, and lots of people come back and tell us about their near-death experiences. But like you just said, if there is an after, if this isn't all there is, what if there's a before?
Yeah.
And so what you're seeing in the show is how are these three people connected from their past, and how far back does that past go?
And the great part about this is, and Billy was on in our last hour, you got to see him. You guys are good friends.
Yeah.
But they never really worked together.
No.
So what was this like, this opportunity to do something? But you're both known for comedy in a sense, and this is completely different.
Yeah, there's a kind of ease when you know somebody. Billy had said to me, come over and let's talk about this show. And our executive producer, brilliant showrunner, writer, Sarah Thorpe, and a bunch of other great writers and directors were part of the show, a wonderful writer named Joe Sosa. And I was there with Sarah and Billy, and we started talking about what our hopes were for the show. What we wanted to talk about in terms of the thing I was just saying before that the culture doesn't really talk about. How do we talk about those things, those experiences that people have? You know, you have a thing where you see somebody and you go, oh my God, I know you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you. Oh, and you have no idea who they are. So working with Billy, I'd always wanted to work with him. And I always had a sense that I would work with him.
Yeah.
And so this was the fruition of that. Just a great ease and joy.
It seems hard to believe that it's been almost 20 years since Ugly Betty. And
That doesn't seem right.
That's what I said when they were doing the pre-interview yesterday. I said to Phoebe, wait a minute, it's not 20 years.
Yeah.
And I think it's 18 or 20 years, something like that.
Is it true you officiated America Ferrara's wedding?
I did.
You guys must be very close.
We're very close. There's some people that you meet in this business, and I had that experience with her. First time I met her, I was like, oh, there you are.
right. Yeah.
There you are. Yeah, she and her husband are very close friends of ours, and her children feel like my children. I just adore her.
And she gave your speech. She gave a speech for you when you got the Walk of Fame.
She did. She did. We've done that for each other here and there. You know, we do that. She was very, very generous, and she was in the middle of shooting something, and I can't even remember what it was. But she took out the time to come and be there for the Walk of Fame.
You're such a treat. I mean, it's rare here on the Third Hour we can have a conversation on existentialism, and this was delightful.
Shouldn't we be doing this more?
I do not disagree with you.
But that's what's going to happen with this show, and you know you're going to be able to see 2 of them at once. Drops on October 25th, this Friday, and then you're going to have to wait to watch it. You're not going to be.
See, I like that.
I do too. I do too. Now, is that because we know that and that's old-fashioned?
Exactly.
It's generational.
It also stretches it out.
I think it's that, and it also gives people a chance to have those conversations.
Yes, think about
the
what you
water
just saw.
cooler, and what do you feel about it? And do you ask your parents or your grandparents? Have you had experiences like this?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really extraordinary. And there's an episode right smack in the middle where they de-age Billy and me. And props to Apple TV. They let us do this.
First 2 episodes of Before hit Apple TV Plus this Friday.
So good to see you.
Thank
Judith.
you.
So good to see you too.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.